Well, there it is. Don't it look good? Okay, I think I'm going to put one more row on there. And I think that the colors down here at the bottom are okay. And the colors at the top. But however, I do not like where I started it and leaving it like that. So I'm going to put a row down this side to make it look a little better. But I do think it looks good. I hope I can find some material to quilt it with. But I think it looks pretty good. And I hope it shows up because I can't see nothing but black. But I think it looks good. I'm happy with it. Even though my colors are not matching and all. It looks really scrappy. And I like the way the colors are working. But I do want to put one down here at this end. Alrighty. I need 13 of these. I have one extra, so I don't have to go any more on those. What is your problem? I think you need to go back and lay down. And I need 6 of these. Come on now, stop it. Are you going to go back in the living room? And I need 6 of these. So are you gonna make this hard on me, Mama Cat? Yeah, Mama Cat's gonna make it hard on me. Oh, come on, damn. No. No.
Wow, that's in Georgia. A off-duty police officer in his own neighborhood, dressed in his underwear, runs up to a guy's house that happens to have he just got Investigator of the Year award in Atlanta, Georgia, and the guy in the house went to open the door, and he recognized this guy. I mean, look at him, how he's dressed.
By his neighbor's Ring doorbell. Now,
And so he shot and killed him, but they didn't charge him with nothing because they said they couldn't understand what he was yelling, so they didn't know. They were still waiting on the toxicality report to come back, but they figured he must have been on drugs or something.
Yeah.
Probably drugs. He took off all these people.
I believe I need to quit. They're gonna, she's gonna make me quit. Alrighty. She went home. Let's see what we can do about cutting out 4 more, even though I don't need 4 more. But they are already in a line. And scoot it down. Oh, come on, why? Let's see it. I think I need 6 of these. And I think I said I needed 13 of the melons. You can cut them all like this. Oh, come on. Cut them all like this and use the melon part and all. That'd be great. I wouldn't have had enough material to do all of it. Oh, come on. This aggravates me. But although I am already aggravated, okay, now I have these, and then we can go ahead and split these up, I hope. Lay them all out. Alright, there we go. Now, I got this much left out of it. I don't know how many yards. But anyway, we are done with this. Now we can put this up into the... Oh no, what do I do with it? I gotta go find it. Alright, let's see what we don't need no more. And start putting it all back in here. Now, let me see. Do we have... Okay. Oh no, this one's missing. Okay, I see it. Alright, so now we have these right here. Most indefinitely should finish it. And then we can put these up. Alright. Now. Then. Okay. Oh, come on, go in there. Alright. I need some more of these, but I have these because I don't think I'm going to have enough to do 13. And then I still have some of these that I can cut, and hopefully I can get enough out of these. And these right here are already cut, so I'm going to use my clear ones first. Let's see, we got 2. I may not have to. Let's see. Let's get this out of the way. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14. So I could do them all in this color. And then I have this stack left over. And I got 2 more of these. So I think I could call it quits right here on these. But, however, I hope, let's see what we can do about turning all this here around. And we're just going to do these. So that way, we have those. I hope I got it right. 2, 4, 6, 8. No, 2, 4. Okay. And where is, okay, here is this one. We're going to put it down in here. And I need to go ahead and cut these out, which will be these. I don't think I have any more that are these colors. I don't see any. And these right here would be the same color as these, so I don't want to use them. What do we have here? Alright, here's these. No, these right here are the same things. So I don't want to use them. Alright, I need to get some more of these. And I'm not for sure. Let's see how many we need in it. These 2. Alright, I need 13 of them.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's October 8th, 2024. And as silly as this all sounds, a still small voice told me to look at Formula 409. You know, the disinfectant cleaner. It's been around forever. Now, some of you that do not live in the United States probably have never heard of Formula 409. For those of us that live here, we grew up on this. It's basically was the disinfectant cleaner that seemed to be the most effective at cutting through grease and stains. We all grew up on the commercials while this was going down. Now, I found a few things, and I was going to combine this presentation with another show. But then that was until one of you heard that we were going to talk about Formula 409, and you said you have to take a look at the giants. And I was like, what giants? And sure enough, there was a cleansing during the flood. 409,000 giants. The dirt wiped away from the earth. Disinfected. Now, when the puzzle pieces all came together on what I'm about to present to you today, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, this matrix goes deep. Yes, God wiped away most of the giants. The book of Genesis says there were giants in the earth in those days and after. And of course, we've done videos documenting the giants that somehow either survived the flood or were respawned into a separate giant race. We don't know. Well, I don't know. Someone might have the answers to that. But We're going to get into that at the end of the show today. The 409,000 giants. We're going to read out of the book of Baruch. But let's go ahead and dive into some of these other synchronicities first. Now, for those of you that did not know this, Formula 409 actually disappeared from the store shelves during the pandemic. And in fact, Clorox, which purchased the brand 409 decades ago, they actually removed 409 from their product lineup temporarily during the pandemic. It was as if it disappeared. There was no announcement or anything. It just disappeared. Now it has since been reinstated, but why is the question? Now, we know that 7 times 7 is 49. Now, how did we even get on this 409 thing? Well, the number 409 was on the door. It was the apartment door number in some movie that we decoded. That's what triggered all this. We know that 7 times 7 is 49. And 77 is a Trump number. And we're going to look at some coincidences that seem to kind of connect Trump to this. They're not very strong, but they're worth a mention. Now, how did they come up with this number, 409? Because it seems random, doesn't it? Well, according to Wikipedia, they say that the number 409, there were a couple of different theories as to how it originated. One of those theories is the birthday of the wife of the founder, April 9th, which is 409, of course. So I looked up April 9th using the primer that we use on this channel, which is birthdays, dates of the year. And look at this. There it is, the 99th day of the year. 99 red balloons, disease, pestilence, death is the number 99. And so her birthday and the name of 409 falls on the 99th day of the year. Now, to confirm this, look at how many days are left in the year. 266. 99, 66. What else confirms this? Well, right on the bottle, they say the formula 409 cures 99.99% of all germs. Whoa. Now, why did the product disappear off the store shelves during the pandemic? And I don't know the answer to that. But this is really weird, isn't it? Pulled from the Clorox product listing, temporarily discontinued. Now, here's a clue. When was this reinstated after they discontinued it? Well, according to Wikipedia, January 16th, 2022. That's 9/11 inverted. In other words, if you take 116 and flip it upside down, it's 9/11. Now, this was close to the end of the pandemic, but not quite. Well, here's the bombshell. And if you think Trump has no connection or foreknowledge of the pandemic or had nothing to do with its origins, take a look at what he tweeted on January 6th, 2020. Now remember, nobody was worried about COVID on January 6th, 2020. We heard grumblings of something that may have been going down in China, but nobody knew anything about what was going to happen. Yet, on January 6th, 2020, guess what Trump tweeted? He tweeted, "How are your 409Ks doing?" How are your 409Ks doing? January 9th, 19 is 19. COVID-19? I don't know. But the 409K is definitely a reference to cleaning products. Now, of course, he was talking about 401Ks, but he put 409Ks. Now, he since removed this tweet. To me, this seems like a clue about the shape of things to come, what the next 4 years are going to look like after January 2020. Now, I was digging into this and looking at the timeline of COVID because, retrospective, you're going to find these people and catch these people in lies, aren't you? I was researching the pandemic timeline and I couldn't believe this. Remember, for so many months, they were telling us over and over again that COVID did not reach America until, what were they saying? December, January? Look at this. They have since changed the story. They're admitting here that people got sick as early December 2019. Early December 2019. Now, a lot of people, in fact, my mother included, and some of you, were like, wow, I got really sick in December. But remember, they kept saying, oh, that wasn't COVID. Remember, they kept telling us that? But that wasn't COVID. COVID didn't reach America until February or January. And so they dismissed your reports. Well, in this timeline here, they're now saying that it did happen in December. Unbelievable. By late November 2019, coronavirus had broken out in Wuhan, China. Let's keep reading here. As reported in clinical infectious diseases, blood samples collected between December 13th, 2019 and January 17th by the American Red Cross included 84 that were positive for COVID. These findings suggest that SARS-CoV may have been introduced in the U.S. prior to January 19th. So, what does all this mean? I don't know the exact answers. I'm just providing you with the information. Now, I went in and looked at the CEOs of Clorox to see if there was any connection between Trump and the CEOs that were present for Clorox. Because we all remember they were talking to Trump and Trump was basically saying that, talking about bleach. And some people thought that he was actually suggesting that they drink bleach. Now, we all know that Trump does these things intentionally. He's intentionally ambiguous. And I think that he does this so that he can create more chaos, to sharpen the divide. And so this infamous, thing that he said about drinking Clorox bleach, I think that this was intentional. Because part of him wants to be misunderstood so that he can stir the pot and create maximum chaos. Now, one recent example of how he's done this is with the hurricane situation in North Carolina. He made the claim that Kamala gave the disaster relief money to the immigrants, illegal immigrants, and he was quickly fact-checked on that. But in a roundabout way, he was kind of right. But it just came out wrong. What he should have said is that taxpayer dollars should be appropriated to prioritize American citizens, not foreign wars or immigrants, because that statement would be true. But they found this loophole in talking about this. They said, oh, those are two separate budgets earmarked for different things. So there was no money stolen. Of course it wasn't stolen, but it's all in how you say things, isn't it? So I looked into the CEOs to see if there was a connection between the sitting CEO for Clorox and Donald Trump just before the pandemic, and I did not find any connections. But here's what I did find. You're not going to believe this. The guy who was the CEO for Clorox, because remember, Trump was always a germaphobe. And then the whole Clorox bleach statement and all these things. Benno Dorer was the CEO of Clorox. But before him was this guy, Donald Noss. Recognize that last name, and you recognize the first name. The last name is Melania's last name. Now, the two aren't related, according to what we're told here. This Donald Noss guy, former CEO of Clorox, he's actually like American. So there shouldn't be a connection between these two. But it's just weird, the name synchronicities, isn't there? Just bizarre. Now, what else is going on? Well, let's finish up this bizarre Formula 409 matrix, because one of you asked me to cover this. The Greek apocalypse of Baruch. Now, according to the book of Baruch, and we're going to read some of this today as we finish up the show. There were 409,000 giants killed during the flood. And I can't help but think of how the metaphor works here. God cleaning the earth, disinfecting the earth, and there happened to be 409,000 giants. Now we're going to read a bunch of this. They actually describe the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And it says that the tree of the knowledge of good and evil was actually planted by Satan to trick Adam and Eve. Now, I don't know that to be fact, but it makes sense, doesn't it? It makes sense that that was the tree of the garden that God told Adam and Eve not to eat of. Maybe he saw there was a problem with the angels that he had tasked to help build the garden. And yet they partook of the tree. Now they describe it in here as a vine, which is interesting. We're going to read all this. But before we do, it opens with a description of the heavens. Now, heavens divided up into 5 levels. And it describes Eden as being above us in one of the heavenly layers. Now, this makes sense. And this is actually a theory that we had based on our research, that the Garden of Eden is actually above us. And when we were cut off, we were cast down, kicked down out of the garden. If you think about righteousness and holiness and levels of righteousness, this makes sense, right? The less righteous, the less perfect, we descend, we go downwards. The more righteous, those things go up. And this would make sense as to why we see the northern lights. It could be the angels swinging their swords to protect the portal back to the garden. Spinning swords. Now, let's read about these different levels of heaven first, and then we're going to read about the 409,000 giants. Now, this is an author here in his commentary. It says, in this pseudepigraphon, Baruch, the scribe of Jeremiah, weeps over the destruction of Jerusalem and its temple, and the mockery of its heathen destroyers. The Lord sends an angel to comfort him, and to guide him through the heavens and show him their mysteries. This angel then leads Baruch through 5 heavens. Now, interestingly, we have kind of a similar thing going on in the book of Enoch, where Enoch is shown the different levels of heaven as well. Now, I have not compared the two. We're just reading this Apocrypha and take it with a grain of salt. Maybe we can learn something from this. The first heaven contains a plain where those being punished for waging war against God are found. The second contains a plain where those who forced others to build a tower to heaven in order to discover its contents are found. Notice the word plain. The third contains a plain in which there are a snake, a sea, primal rivers, as well as the Garden of Eden, the sun with the phoenix and the moon. And this is why many of us believe there's no way to get to the sun or the moon. It's through a portal. Now, Enoch does describe the sun and the moon being in portals, so that would confirm this, right? The Garden of Eden above us. The fourth contains a plain on which are a pool and exotic birds and the gathering place of the souls of the righteous. The fifth is where the angels responsible for men on earth bring the gifts of men to Michael and present them to God. Baruch does not pass inside the gates of this heaven. They remain closed. In these chapters, three classes of mankind are mentioned: the righteous and the insufficiently righteous and the sinners. In the Slavonic version, Baruch is granted permission to intercede for the suffering of sinners. Now, interestingly, the souls of the righteous, in the fourth heaven. Now, let's keep reading here. The 409,000 giants. We're going to read this whole page because this is pretty interesting stuff, you guys. Again, thanks to the subscriber that asked me to dig into this. Again, take this with a grain of salt and pray about it. All right, here we go. And I, Baruch, said, Behold, Lord, you have shown me great and wondrous things. Now show me all of the Lord's. Show me all for the Lord's sake. And the angel said to me, Come, let us go through. With the angel from that place, a journey about 185 days. And he showed me a plain and a serpent who appeared to be stone. And he showed me Hades, and its appearance was gloomy and unclean. And I said, What is this dragon and the monster around it? And the angel said, This dragon is one which eats the bodies of those who pass through their lives badly, and he is nourished by them. Now, the Bible kind of confirms this concept that the serpent or the dragon is roving about consuming people. It talks about this, doesn't it? I can't remember what verse that is in Scripture. Maybe someone can help us with that in the chat, and I'll be back in the chat in a minute. We're just going to get through this. Let's keep reading here. And this is Hades, which is like him, in that also he drinks about 1 cubit from the sea, and nothing is diminished from it. Baruch said, And how is that? And the angel said, Listen, the Lord God made 360 rivers, the primary ones of them being the Alphaeus, the Aburos, and the Gericos. And because of these, the sea is not diminished. So, these would be the waters below. I talked about in the book of Genesis during the flood. Part of the waters came from the fountains of the deep, says Genesis, right? Let's keep reading here. And I said, I pray you, show me which is the tree which caused Adam to stray. And the angel said, It is the vine, which the angel Samael planted, by which the Lord God became angered. And he cursed him and his planting. For this reason, he did not permit Adam to touch it. And because of this, the devil became envious and tricked him by means of his vine. And Baruch said, And since the vine became the cause of such evil, and was cursed by God, and was the destruction of the first formed, how is it now of such great use? And the angel said, Rightly you ask. When God caused the flood over the earth and destroyed all flesh, and 409,000 giants. And the water rose over the heights of 15 cubits, The water entered paradise and killed every flower, but it removed the sprig of the vine completely and brought it outside. And when the earth appeared from the water, and Noah left the ark, he started to plant some of the discovered plants. He also found the sprig, and taking it, he considered in his mind what it was, and I came and I told him about it. And he said, should I plant it, or what should I do with it? Since Adam was destroyed by means of it, will I also encounter the anger of God through this? And while saying these things, he prayed for God to reveal to him what he should do with this. Now, that would be probably a questionable passage there. Why would Noah consider replanting the tree of the knowledge of good and evil? I'll let you guys decide what all that means. But what a trip, right? 409,000 giants cleansed from the earth. Now, I dug a little bit deeper into this, and Formula 409 has a product called stone and steel. This is it right here. And now it makes all the sense in the world. The last earth age, the age of steel and watery clay, according to the book of Daniel. Are we in the last days like the days of Noah? The Bible says that these last days will be like the days of Noah. Steel and watery clay. Wow. I wonder if there was a steel and watery clay component during the flood somehow. Now, nowhere does it mention that, but you just never know. Unbelievable. Now, let's go back into the chat. Now, for those of you that tune into the backup channel, Enter the Stars Reloaded, we've got the Honey Milk Ranch over there, just to keep us focused over here on the decodes and things. And so if you've been tuning in over there on Enter the Stars Reloaded, we've been doing all kinds of house projects and stuff. We got the Nissan Xterra running great. I just set the timing yesterday. I got a timing gun and set the timing on it, and it's running perfect. I'm going to go put some gas in it today and keep it running. So thanks to all of you and your suggestions. Also, I'm going to be working on a new treehouse project that I'm either going to tackle late fall or spring. And I've already got the plans drawn up, so I'll show you guys that on the backup channel.
There is an ancient Indian saying that something lives only as long as the last person who remembers it. My people have come to trust memory over history. While history serves only those who seek to control it, those who would douse the flame of memory in order to put out the dangerous fire of truth. Beware these men.